think I'm going to regret trying to film when it's not rest time for my kids. They're all running around playing, which is great. They're fine, but you know, things could be interesting. Anyway. Hey there, everybody. I am Christine. If you're new, I'm a homeschooling mama of 3 kiddos. I'm a second-generation homeschooler. And today, I want to be chatting with you about a new homeschool curriculum. Well, new to me homeschool curriculum. I don't know that it's that new, but it is certainly new to me, and I'm really excited about it. But I do need to tell you that this is a sponsored video, so I'm very, very grateful to My Homeschool, which is an Australian-based homeschool curriculum company, who reached out to me and wanted to work together. I am very excited about their curriculum, and I was going to just like add this review into another video, like my homeschool update video for the term, but there's just quite a lot I want to say about it, and I'm so excited about it that I felt like it just needed its own dedicated video, and so that is what I'm sharing today. So if you like Charlotte Mason, if you like organization, if you like not having to stress about trying to find all the different resources for things, and especially if you are in the Southern Hemisphere, you are going to love this video and this curriculum. So I'm going to chat a bit about it. But before I do that, please, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I have a video out every week, and I try to keep it pretty strictly homeschool related. I love that topic. And so if you do too, please go ahead and subscribe. So I am going to try and do some like screen overlay so that you can see the website that I'm talking about, because this is a digital curriculum. That's not to say it doesn't come with hard copy products, which I am actually currently holding in my hand here. This is their like level 1. I'm going to put like writing over the screen because I know I'm going to say things incorrectly because my memory is like not 100%. So this is what I'm using with my kindergartner child. She's 5 years old. Let's just say that. She's 5. She's starting out. She kind of did preschool last year, and I started doing this with her. So this is their primary language lessons, foundations, and it is full of beautiful, gentle lessons that take like 5 minutes to get through. They're amazing. They're very sweet. So let's just talk about Charlotte Mason curriculum, because it can be very confusing when you're a new homeschooler and you hear about Charlotte Mason. You think it's like a curriculum. It's not a curriculum. These curriculums, when you hear about a Charlotte Mason curriculum, it's a curriculum that is inspired on her philosophy of education. So it's not like there's a set of rules necessarily. And so one curriculum is not going to be the same as the other. They have a lot of similarities, but there's no like, I mean, there are rules. There are certainly Charlotte Mason purists. I'm definitely a very eclectic homeschooler, and I don't believe personally on sticking to any one educational philosophy where it could potentially be to the detriment of my child. Like, I want to tailor their education based on their wants and their needs, not on a philosophy that I personally just love. You know what I mean? Like, it needs to be balanced, and so I'm not going to push something that is not going to be to their benefit. However, I don't think there is much to be argued with Charlotte Mason. There's a lot of, I love a lot of her philosophies. I don't strictly adhere to all of them by any means, but I do love a lot of her teaching methods. And so this curriculum is very much Charlotte Mason inspired. There's a lot of curriculums that claim to have a Charlotte Mason feel to them, and some of them do, but it's kind of vague. This is definitely Charlotte Mason, like 100% is her philosophy. So it is available digitally, which is actually a big blessing to those of us who are international, because you're not paying shipping costs, and you can also reuse materials because you can print them off as many times as you need to. So this curriculum runs all the way through, I think, until the last 2 years of high school. I did double check this, but what makes it stand out to me above, I've just got my computer in front of me, so if you hear dings and bings, that's it. But what made it really stand out to me is how organized it is. Now, I have tried several Charlotte Mason curriculums before looked over them, and I have been overwhelmed by the higgledy-piggledy-ness of the way that they're set out, of the different resources I have to go out and find and buy. And like a lot of curriculums are advertised as being free or very affordable, and that might be the case for like the actual like plans and the lesson plans and like the general lessons, but all of the other resources that you then have to go out and purchase can make it really expensive, especially if you're living outside of the US, because you're paying international shipping fees. And at the moment, I mean, they've always been expensive, but at the moment they are astronomical, and so it prices you out of even being able to use the curriculum. And people say, well, buy them secondhand. A lot of the time you actually cannot find the resources recommended in those curriculums here where I live in New Zealand anyway. And so, and I know there will be other countries in the same position. So it's a nice thought, and like for people who live locally, but not necessarily to the wider international community. And so something that really stuck out to me with this curriculum is that most of the resources are there and available. They've done the work for you. Now, it is not a free curriculum. There is a cost for it, and I'm going to put those on the screen because I don't want to mess that up for you. But to me, that cost is 100% worth it, because you have all the work done for you. Now, when I say all the work, I'm talking about the lesson planning, the schedule, the resources. One of the things that I really loved about it is that when you go in to the planning section, you can see there's like lists of everything you need before you start, and what things need to be sourced outside of what they have provided. And actually the list is very small. It's not large. There's not a lot of extras that you have to get, and they're very clear about what is optional and what is not optional. And so, I mean, down to like what exercise books they need to have, you know, like notebooks and things like that. And so for somebody who just loves routine and planning, this just makes me really excited because it's so easy. It's so like open and go. The other thing I really like is that there's like a mix of using digital things like videos and stuff like that, digital media, is that even a thing? But you know what I mean. And also hard copy. I am not somebody who wants to completely eradicate screens from my home. Personally, I believe we live in a world where it is necessary to use those things, and so instead of eradicating them, I want my children to learn how to use them wisely and to not be afraid of them, but instead be wise about how to use them. And so I like that there's a mixture of the two things. I like to have hard copy. I like my children using workbooks, but I also like them to be able to, you know, be au fait with how to, you know, research and watch videos and how to glean wisdom from those things, but to use them wisely, and also with my supervision. And so I really like that about this curriculum. And then the other thing that I was very excited about is the fact that it is created in the Southern Hemisphere. And for those of us who live in the Southern Hemisphere, who have homeschooled, who have been homeschooled, we're very, very used to having to like switch out currencies and units of measurement, or learning both units of measurement. And also, the one downside that can really come up is with science and nature study. A lot of it is based on things that are found in the Northern Hemisphere or like specific to a certain region. And you don't really get to study your local stuff because the curriculum doesn't use that. So the fact that it's based in the Southern Hemisphere is very exciting to me. It's just refreshing. It's like one less thing to have to do. And that makes me very excited. And so I'm going to show you a little bit of their website. I'm just going to try and bring it up. Okay, so I'm just bringing up their website for you now, and I will probably just put this over top of me talking to you. So I've got the available courses up here, and I'm just going to scroll down to where the kindergarten one is. So you can see here it says kindy and prep and pre-primary. It can be a little bit confusing with like the ages and stages, but they do have a good guide on how to place your child. So I'm just going to show you around in here. I will say, and I should have said this right at the beginning, I felt like I could trust this curriculum because the creator of the curriculum is a homeschooling mom who's not in the midst of homeschooling. She's done it. She has got her kids right through their school years. They've gone on to succeed in university and their careers and been very successful, and she used the Charlotte Mason method of a homeschool. And so it just helped me be able to trust this curriculum more and know that it has been proven and her method of teaching is great. And so that's just something I wanted to mention. So here you can see on the left hand side there's like a navigation menu, which is so great because it's very easy to jump back and forth. Their website is very fast and efficient. You're not going to be like sitting around waiting for things to load, because my patience level doesn't last that long. So before you start is a really great section to be reading. She's got a bunch of PDF documents here going over everything you need to know. For us here in New Zealand, we have to apply for an exemption to homeschool by the time our children turn 6. What I really appreciate about this curriculum is that they provide a thorough scope and sequence, and that is very helpful when you have to do the exemption. I'm not exactly sure about the process in Australia and how that works, but from what I can tell, they've set it up so that it's very easy for you to plug the information that you need to include into whatever application you need to make. So they have suggested timetable. There is an app for smartphones so that you can access all of this that way, which is really great. And this curriculum is not set up as a family style curriculum. It's not set up to be taught family style, but they do give you tips on how to combine a lot of the grades, and so you can cater for more children, which is really helpful if you have several children that you're trying to teach. And then what I wanted to show you was the resource list, because this is what I found really helpful. So this is everything that you're going to need for kindergarten, the scope and sequence, exactly what they're doing. So for English, you can see here, it says print, all these things. These are available already in the curriculum. You don't have to go purchase these. Use online, it tells you what you're going to do, and print. So then you get down here, see there's optional print here, so you don't have to, but it's there if you want to. And then these are the things that need to be purchased. So these are your stationery supplies, and you can print this off if you need to, but that just shows you the things that you need. This is not going to cost an awful lot of money at all. And then finally, these are the books that you need to purchase. So there's actually not a heck of a lot here. And some of them are more suggestions rather than they are like, you have to have this kind of thing. So just bear that in mind. But look how neat and tidy and concise that is. That makes me so happy. Here's your weekly planner that you can look at. It's just so great. You've got everything there. They break down all the different abbreviations. It's just very thorough. You're not going to be thrown in the deep end and wonder what on earth you're supposed to be doing, The suggested timetable. I really like this. This is very helpful, especially if you're brand new to homeschooling. So there we go. That is what it looks like in there. And if you want to look at like a plan, I'm just going to go in here. Here's your virtual cupboard. And so there's all of your lesson resources in there. And then you've got your term 1, term 2, term 3, and term 4. And here we go, week 1. So this is what it looks like. You've got family time and read alouds, the things that you're going to click on your own subject. So these are like your individual subjects. This is what I'm doing with Annie this year. So I clicked on that, and this is what you print off. I'll scroll down a little bit so you can actually see some of the lessons. Introduction to Parents, Teaching, Suggestions, and Tips. So here's what a lesson would look like. So you've got picture study, lesson, and phonics. I love that it shows you like what you're going to do. And literally these take like 5 minutes. They're great for this age. They're beautiful. So that's like the lesson there. Now they do offer free trials. So I know what it's like to want to like look into curriculum and really get like a bit of a tangible experience with it. And so you can sign up for a free trial. My children are getting antsy, so I need to wrap this up. But I will include more information like written over the screen as I remember to find it. But I hope you found this really helpful. I'm excited about this curriculum. We're not probably going to be using it as a whole curriculum because I've got stuff I already love, but I am using this with Annie. I'm enjoying it. I am thinking I'll probably use quite a bit of this with my youngest child when she starts doing some academics. She's too young for it at the moment, but it's it's exciting. And I just think for those of us in the Southern Hemisphere, especially, you can use it if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. So I don't want to feel like I'm excluding you guys. They definitely have tips for international students, but for those of us down here, I think it's just really exciting. And so if you're in New Zealand and you've been looking for something like this, go ahead and check this out. I will have it all linked in the description below, and I'm going to have a blog post written out with a bit of a review as well. So I will try and include that all for you. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments and I will get back to you. See you next time. Bye-bye.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread